Boom. Where are we? There we are. Hello. All right. How is everyone doing out there? I'm so glad to be with you tonight. And hello, Carolyn. And I'm glad that, let's see, it's feeling like fall. You've had a break from the heat up there. I see that. And next week you'll be right back at it. But I'll tell you what, I bet you in a matter of weeks you guys will be starting to cool off up there in Toronto. So, yeah, there you got cold winters coming, as they say, right? Well, listen, hey, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday Night Live. Oh, nope, scratch that. It's our Monday Night Live class. I come to you every Monday night, and we always work on something that has to do with outdoors, usually. Sometimes some interior, but it falls in the area of a landscape or something like that. And why is this? Oh, I see what's going on. Let me just warm that up just a little bit. So, yeah, we get together every Monday night and try and take a look at a new drawing, and I try and show you a few things that might help this drawing process a little bit helpful, a little bit easier. We have a very active Facebook group, and on Monday mornings I always post a couple different photos for everyone to vote on, and believe tonight we had a tie. We had a tie between this picture and a beautiful mountain with a river, and I chose to go with this. I was the tiebreaker, and I went with this because we haven't drawn an urban picture for a while. But for those of you who voted for the mountain, we're going to do that next week, okay? So since it was a perfect tie, we'll still get you. So look forward to that. Hey, Russell, what is going on, my friend? So we're going to jump into this, and you know, I got to thinking a lot about this picture throughout the day because it is quite different than what we've normally have done. And I think what I really like about this, it brings up the idea of contrast really well, and contrast in the way of you have these beautiful, very natural looking round shapes of clouds in contrast to all of these lines, all of these straight, vertical, horizontal, diagonal lines. And I think that really makes for an interesting composition. So this should be a great picture for us to draw. I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Lana, how you doing? I'll have to catch up. Okay, no problem. You say hello to everyone in the family. Give them, say, Kurt, give them my love, okay? So, anyways, so we'll get into this. Hey, Joe's in the house. Hello, Joe. How are you? So we're going to jump right into this. So I want to, first thing what we're going to do is draw the clouds in the background. And we'll have a quick lesson of drawing clouds. I think that's always very helpful. And then once we have that set in our background, then we'll start adding a lot of these other elements. I mean, we'll probably end up doing the clouds first, then we'll do the buildings, and then we'll bring in all these power lines, which should be quite interesting once we got everything down. So yeah, we're gonna get right into this. So let's do that, okay? So let's start up here. Let's see if I'm recording my. Not yet here. Give it a second. And I do, like always, I always appreciate when you all like or subscribe and comment on the videos. Just a simple hello, or this video is great, or this video stinks. I'm never coming back here again. Whatever. Just please comment and please like the video. You know how that rolls. All right, let's get into this here. So let's take a minute and talk about clouds, okay? So what I want you to think about when drawing clouds, if you were to take it and mold it, especially these type of clouds. If you were to think of that you were molding these out of clay, and you would take a big round mass and stick it together, and then you took another mass and stick it on top, and another mass and stuck it on top. So that's kind of what I want you to think about as we're doing this. Let's think about big shape, and then we'll slowly bring down or add smaller detail as we get in closer, okay? So let's go ahead and start with some type of framework. And the other thing I forgot to mention too is if you keep your drawings a little bit smaller, you will be able to keep up pretty good. So here in the States, of course, we use the inches system, and so I would keep this like 5x7 or 7x9. I wouldn't go much larger than a 7x9 if you're drawing this. Okay, so keep it small. It'll be easier for you to keep up and stuff. So, all right, so here it is, our outward frame. Let's kind of let's first look to this. Let me get a new screen here. Oh, look at that! Almost blew it. There we go. Let's put a new layer. There it is. All right, let me get my frame again here. All right, first thing let's do is let's get this mountain in the back, and let me show you what I'm looking at. I'm just gonna start to break this down. So you see this top mountain range back here? That's what I want to drop. I'm just gonna very lightly put some light line going across my drawing just like that, okay? I'm gonna build everything on top of that. So just keep that light. And then let's go ahead and get the big shapes of these clouds. And when I'm drawing the clouds, at this phase, I'm gonna hold my pencil toward the back of it. This is gonna keep my pencil loose and light, all right? So I'm just kind of coming in here, making some big shapes. Okay. And I've got this guy coming in here. All right, hopefully you could see that. I want to keep it light because I'm gonna work a lot of different things on top of this cloud here. I'm gonna start slowly adding more and more components. All right, so when I'm looking at this cloud here, first thing is I'm visualizing. I mean, this shape right here, and then this one's coming around. Okay, so this is where I'm going to go with this. All right, and you could see as you're looking even closer at the picture, you start to make these different separations. All right, so let's work on those together. All right. Trying to create some variation here. When you're doing this, this just came to mind, and I'm going to get rid of this picture to demonstrate this concept to you real quick. When you're working with a lot of objects, let's just say we were working with rocks, and this will apply to clouds too, so I can show. Let's say we wanted to make a variety of rocks. So this would be like a big rock, of course. And then we're going to make a little bit smaller one per se. And then we might make a smaller one than that, and maybe two of them smaller than that. And then 3 itty bitty ones. All right, so that gives a nice variation, and in my mind, this is what I'm thinking when I'm drawing these rocks, these different size variations. I'm thinking father, mother, brother, sister or daughter, sister, and then these are babies. So as I'm making these cloud shapes, I'm thinking big, smaller, 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 and then babies. And I just keep that variation This is a really good way to get variation in size. Okay, so here we go. So there's father, mother. All right, and all I'm doing right now is getting some sense of outlining going on. Trying to keep it light. I probably went a little too dark. A little bit too dark at the top there. As I'm drawing, I'm making round shapes, concave shapes. Almost like using surface lines. Just working around it. If you're familiar with the work of Vincent van Gogh, he sort of drew his clouds in similar fashion. He used a lot of lines in his paintings to describe form. Remember, these are all going to be contrasting with these straights. Now I'm very lightly going to add a little bit of tone in the sky to help these clouds come across as white or lighter in value. And I'm even going to add some tone to my clouds. A lot of times we're going to move on, I think, here. And let's talk about doing buildings on streets. Of course, there's many different ways to skin a cat, but if I'm going to draw a especially a street scene like this, I want to kind of get my base foundation. I want to get the foundation laid and then build my buildings up from that, okay? So let's get the street in place, and let's just think about how this perspective is working. So I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to put some little marks here that are going to be helpful in determining where I could start building. So for example, this is, let's see, I'm going to do a red so it shows up better. There you go. So there's one important point where the street comes in contact and with my ground plane, and then this is going to be another point that I'm going to want to indicate on my picture. And of course, this is where my street ends, right there. So I'm going to draw in a light angle like that. And then this will be another point that I'm going to establish here. And this is going to be a straight line between those. And then we'll put a straight line there. All right, so let's establish those 4 points in our picture, okay? So if I'm looking at this, here's I'm going to change the color there. Hold on. All right. So there's one corner of my picture. There's another one, and if I just kind of judge, there's the center, right between. Maybe it's a little bit more to the left, right? So there's a center point right there, and let's go ahead and do that for the top too. So there's the top, there's the bottom, and I could just, your mind is really good at determining the middle point of something, all right? Okay, so my first marker, I'm going to put it right about there. Okay, that's going to be the corner of the street. And I'm going to come over here to this corner, come around it, and I'm going to put the other marker right there. That's a great place to start off there. Okay, so you might consider these things are landmarks, and these are tools of measurement that I'm going over right now. Establishing points on a drawing that become areas that you could build off of. Okay, so these are going to be the first 2 landmarks, and let's establish where this other one is. And another way of measuring is creating shapes, is looking where shapes are. So there's an interesting shape right there. You see that? And I think we could replicate that shape if we just kind of come in here like this. Draw it lightly. All right, so I can establish about right there. That's where that one point is. And let's do that to the other side as well, okay? So if I come over here, look at that. There's a nice triangle shape. All right, so I can use that also. It's also a little bit lower. And it's almost, look at that. It's almost at a halfway point there. You see that? A little bit lower. Okay, I'm going to go right there. That looks about right to me. Oop, I'm going to even say this should be maybe a little bit higher. Maybe a little bit higher than that. Okay, so let's go ahead and lightly connect that. And then I'm going to come down here and connect this down here. All right. All right, so there's 3 landmarks that we have right now. Excellent. Okay, let's look for some more here. Let's use this to our advantage now, okay? All right, look at this one right here. Let's find that corner, and let's kind of guesstimate where that corner is going to be as well, all right? Oh, let me put down some of these others so we can see them all. So we've got this one here we established, we got that one, we got that one there, and we got that one there, okay? Okay, so I can put that other corner right about there. All right. And the other one is going to be across the street and just a little further down, more like this right there. That looks pretty good. In fact, I'm going to make him even lower, right about there. Okay, let's come in like this. Let's come in like that. And then draw the other side of the street, and look at that. It just barely separates there. And this one too. This one is not that far up like that, okay? I'm gonna erase some of these extra lines here. All right, let's keep going. Okay, let's work on this first. Let's work from left to right maybe. So look at this. Look at that building way up there on top. You see that? Yep, this. Let it catch up here. Yep. Look at this building right up there. You see that? Let's start with him first. All right. So we're gonna have to come all the way up here to the top. Look at that. And it's gonna come out. How far is that gonna come out? Well, it's gonna come out. Look at this. This is the edge of my street, and if I run a line straight up, I can see it's coming out beyond that corner right there. You see? Draw it lightly, and then we're going to come all the way down about there. We're not worrying about the perspective per se. I'm more concerned right now with overlapping forms. Let's even put this telephone pole in. All right. So telephone pole is going to start way up here. And it's skinnier than you think. And it's going to come all the way down here to the edge. So I'm really drawing from my elbow on this one. And because there's going to be so many lines on this, I'm going to quickly add a tone. All right, let's get this building in. It's going to come down about there. And then you're going to have this tree. So let's just okay. And I'm going to add a tone to that as well. Not a super dark tone yet. I'll come back a little bit later. Okay. Where's this is the top corner there. Halfway is going to be about there. Okay, that's important. Okay, let's get this white building that's really sticking out. Now look at this. This is interesting. Let's start thinking about a proportion here. Look at the width of this building there. You see the width? All right, and this is how much is sticking out. And then look at the width of this building back here. You see that? So the white one is sticking out just a little bit further. So let's be mindful of that when we draw that. Okay, so where is he going to start? He's going to start right about at a halfway point, right about there. He's at a slight angle. And I'm just going to come down straight like this. Maybe a little bit more. All right. I'm going to go just like that for right now because I want to come down and I want to get this building right in here. You see this? So this line right there, you see that line right there? Remember, that's going to be our mountains. That is our mountains right in here. All right, so if that's my mountains, how much lower? Change the color here. Look at this. Where is this thing? Where is that roof in relationship to that line, to this mountain line? You see that? These are all relationships we're looking at here. So if that's my mountain, I'm going to come down here like this. And it's going to come all the way down here to the bottom of the sidewalk. Look at that. I'm just looking at shapes, and so then I see this. And then I have another straight there and another one back over here. And then it has an interesting piece going there. You see that? And a very small detail of some steps. Yes, Russell, you just asked, is like the fisheye lens, is there's like, because the camera is doing that. Yeah, I would say, let's see, they lean forward. Is it best to emulate that or correct it? Is it best to fix that? I don't know. It's really up to you, I would say. It depends it depends what you're trying to accomplish. If you're doing it more poetically, it could have a sense of curves to it. But if you want to make it like super like tight and accurate, I don't want to use the word accurate, but if you want to make it then almost as if you're using a T-square and everything, well, finding that balance in between it. Me personally, I like to stay away from a T-square because I like to have my lines drawn by hand, and I think that creates a little bit of a softer feel to things, almost painterly in a way. I don't want to say painterly because there's plenty of people who paint super tight, but I hope that answers your question. That was a little bit rambling, huh? All right, let's continue on with this building back here. Look at that. It comes in now like this, and it has this open stairway up on top, and then another one down below there. As I work my way down, look at that. You got this, I think it's a Coca-Cola sign in the background there. And for this, I'm just using shapes. Okay, we have another. Let's get this telephone pole here on the corner, and let's see where he goes up. He comes all the way up to about there, I think. So let's bring him in here. And it's okay if your drawing starts looking really busy. It's supposed to look busy. That's the chaos that's going on with all of these wires. Wait till we start putting these telephone wires and all the components to them. It's going to make it very crazy. But that's the point of this. All right, I got a building back here. And then I have another telephone pole that is almost just above this height here. Where's that end? Okay. That's going to come down like this. Yep. Okay, I think we've got almost to the end of this building. I do see a bus back here. So we could just kind of create a square shape and then put like a single tire there maybe. And then since this is my sidewalk here, so I'm just gonna add a little more definition to it. All right, let's jump to the other side. Let's jump to the other side of our drawing here, and start adding buildings on the other side. So right here at the halfway point, I'm going to start drawing this guy. Right there, okay? A little bit higher than that. That little building right there. So determine the halfway point is going to be about there. And that little building's popping out like this. Now look how low that other roof line, because this is going back in perspective here. So we're just gonna guesstimate that. And you see how there's the edge there, and I'm looking kind of, there's the top of the mountain there. You see that? So where is that going to be? That's going to be right about there. Okay. That's I probably did mine too big. All right, getting that base down just a bit. Balcony going on there, right? Now look at this car here. This is a side view of the car. There's the top of the car. There's the bottom of it. You see that? Now let's make a comparison with that, with this Coca-Cola sign that across the way here. So in my picture, I'm going to add a tone to this here. That's the size of my Coca-Cola sign. And you can see my car is a little bit larger than that. So he's going to come down here, and there's that corner there. So let me show you what I'm doing. There is the shape of that car right there. You see, and look how close he is to that corner spot right there. And then I'm looking at look how big that Coca-Cola sign is. So I'm using that Coca-Cola sign to determine how big I should make my truck. So if I come over here, all right, my truck is going to start maybe about there. Just thinking of shape here. All right. All right, let's get this brick wall here in. There's another brick wall right there. Yep, I'm just dropping in now some different shapes. Okay. Let's continue on building this up here. So I've got another roof coming back here. A little bit lower maybe. See that? And I do have another a telephone pole. How high up does he go? Okay, he's about right there. I'm going to continue with this building here, and this building really sticks out. How far does that out? That comes out. Comes out like this. You see this? It's like that shape. There's balconies here. I'm using surface lines to try and create some variation. There's some foliage in the back here. All right. Oh. Uh-oh, they're coming down our street. All right. Let's get this tree back here. All right. Got this nice house popping out here. Another geometric shape. A little window. So all I'm doing right now is just really using overlapping shapes. I see there's a car over here, so I can get the overall outline of that. As you Draw your objects further back. Try and draw them a little bit lighter. That's going to give a sense of this going back in space. Another car back here, this van. Okay. There's a building right here. And then you see the facade coming down like this. You see this? It's like a cube. And let's just add a little bit of a tone back here. This on top of this building has this triangle there. Then you have a building on top of that. Way behind now. I'm sorry, Joe. I'll slow down here. I'm not going to draw anything for 5 minutes, I promise. I'm going to watch the clock here. I'll let 5 minutes tick by, okay? I think we should have a little panic button in YouTube. you just hit one key one key on your keyboard and a little red light would pop up over here. Slow down. Just take your time. You got it. No, you're not slow. I draw too fast. Couple more minutes here. All right, 15 more seconds. Okie dokie, you're all good. Beautiful. All right, let's keep going. So, all right, so we've got this one last building in the back there that has a bit of a peak just like that, I think. And then, of course, we got our mountains. So let's go ahead and add a tone. Let's add a tone for those mountains in the back there. Okay, let's one last thing before we start adding all of the electrical wires, which are really gonna sell this. Okay, that's like adding a person's the highlights. Let's get some of these shadows in, coming from the left side here. So I'm just going to draw them slowly, so you maintain a certain amount of geometry to them, where they're foreshortened, but they're really coming in. So this is an important. This is a big one right there. Look at that. Okay, we got another one. Interesting shape here. Make sure you keep it nice and square, or nice. Keep those angles nice. All right, let's start on the right hand side here with these telephone wires. And this is the first, the thicker ones I'm going to think of first coming down. And I'm looking at this idea where they connect. So they connect, looks like they connect to this top of the house, and they come down here to the second one after that. So let me draw this first, and then I'll let you draw your own, okay? So this is going to come up like, let me just kind of look, this is going to come in like this. And I'm pushing down and pulling up. So I'll get a nice, and I'm doing a little bit of a slight loop to it, all right? We do have another telephone pole I forgot, with a little bit of a transformer up on top there. All right, so we're going to come down there. And then let's come all the way over to this other side. There's this big thick wire. Where's he cut? All right, he's going to come in there. So let's, so there are a lot of wires here, so I'm just going to let's just spend 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to try and add some transformers, and then slowly start to add these lines going across and going down. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that on our own here, because it'll be too hard for me to describe which ones I'm drawing, and you're going to get it kind of mixed up. But start push down and then pull up. Get a nice taper on some of these. All right, I think for me, I'm done with my little wires. I'm not going to add any more. That looks pretty chaotic, if you ask me. So now the last thing that you'll want to do, possibly, is start to go in here and work some more of your values. For example, when I look at my drawing, I want my clouds to really pop. So in order for that to happen, I'm going to have to add more value to my blue sky. So I'm going to do that now. Those clouds are really important to me because they really, I'm getting a little far more illustrative here than what I'm seeing, but I really want to make these the contrast with all these wires that are going on. Then I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here and darken in this telephone pole that's close to me, more so than in the drawing, more so than in the photograph. Because I want your eye to go beyond him. Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice there's some shadow of some telephone wires in the shadows on the ground there. That's kind of nice. And this whole area of the street is kind of has a little bit of value to it because it is slightly in the shadows. Okay. I think I have used enough of your time for tonight. This was a very interesting drawing. We haven't done anything like this, so this turned out nice. Just thinking about contrast of shapes. Okay, I think that's going to do it here. Listen, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and checking it out. And I want to, you know what I want to do? I just kind of, as I looked up the screen, I saw this pattern on this telephone pole, and I just want to add that. Plus maybe a little bit extra spikes of the details going up. There you go. I like that better now. Okay. So, thanks for watching. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Please do like the video and leave a comment. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tune in our Facebook group. There's a bunch of links down in the description for the daily draw class. It's a class we get together every day. Check that out if you want. And I am glad that you tuned in tonight. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great evening. Okay. See y'all later. Bye-bye.